Morning friends, Naomi here. Thank you for joining me here. Gabriel's with me, so you might see him at some point during this little video. So for a while now in class we've been doing something called the 30-day yoga challenge, and I decided to start to film the challenges so that more of you could do it and watch how the postures were done and then have a go. So the idea is that it takes 30 days or 40 days to change a habit, negative or positive. So if you do something like this every day, then you might surprise yourself at how flexible you become, but also the elements behind the physical side of it. So you might find a sense of calmness. That's right, Guruji, that's right. So the idea for this first challenge is to do an arm balance, which is obviously quite a difficult thing to do if you've never done any yoga before. But I always tend to find that with beginners, it's sometimes really good to do an arm balance because it gets your confidence up and it gets you sort of really excited about the fact that you're able to do yoga. Yes, exactly. So a beginner's mind is really, really good. Even if you're advanced, just start from the beginning and try to feel that you've never done it before. I know that sounds weird, but so that you sort of come to it with a freshness. So I'm going to show you the arm balance, and then I'm going to show you the other posture that you're going to do on the days that you really don't feel you've got the strength to do it or the energy. So just try to do something every day. You've got two options. So the arm balance is really, really tricky, but have a go in stages so your hips start to open. I'm giving you something challenging so that you can see how you react under pressure and how you sort of talk to yourself with, whether you're using a kind voice or a really angry voice. The whole point of it is to adapt the way you think about yourself. So here goes. So if you're an advanced practitioner or if you've been doing yoga for a while, you're probably going to want to start to warm up. So sun salutations, definitely hip openers, because this is a hip opener arm balance. So yeah, make sure that you're warm. If you're doing it in the morning, you're probably really stiff, so you won't get that far. At the end of the day, your hips are more open. Okay, so let's have a go. You're going to come to standing. So bring your feet together. This is called Galavasana. It's a really cheeky little arm balance, so you're going to feel like heat and your heart racing. So cross one leg over the other. This is to start with. So it comes above the knee, flex the foot, and then start by pushing your knee out to the side and lifting the thigh of the standing leg. So the right thigh lifts above the kneecap. And then really gently start to aim your hips back as if you're sitting into a chair. But make sure that your hips are parallel so they don't jut out to the side. So finding a balance, finding a drishti, which is your focal point, so maybe somewhere on the ground ahead of you. And as you get into that, start to open your hips more. So you can do that by placing your arms across your ankle and your knee, and then letting the weight of your upper body start to begin to open the hips. So you're going to feel quite a strong hip opening there if you're not flexible in the hips. Maybe that's enough for you today, just staying here and breathing. Again, the day after. Is that right? Come here and help me. And then you're going to start to maybe go a little bit further than that and reach down to the floor so you come onto your fingertips. And again, that might be enough for you, just staying here and breathing. And that's, if you're doing that, then you're doing yoga. Those of you that can go a little bit further, you're going to start to bring your hands to the ground, so flat of the hands to the ground, and then let your foot hook over the top of your elbow, and the knee comes to the top of the elbow on the other side. So you want a parallel line between knee and ankle. Eye line spotting to the ground ahead of you. Lift up through the core, lift your hips, and then start to shift your weight forward. And at some point you might be able to lift the foot. And then really flex that front foot so you've got some pressure. You may be able to go a little bit further. If you can, you're going to extend the leg back. And that's it. Back foot to the ground. Work your hands back. Come up. Take a deep breath. Feel your heartbeat. And come all the way back up to standing. Stand and take it in. So the great thing about arm balance is that you feel really fresh, really alive. It gets your heart going, and it gives you loads of confidence. But if you can't get to that stage, don't worry about it. And there's going to be days that you don't want to do that. Your body's just saying, no, I don't want to do anything that's really too strong. And this is something that I try to do every day, this position. It's really, really simple. Just lie onto your back. Soles of the feet to the ground. Knees come together as your heels turn out. And just rest. 5 minutes. And there'll be things that want to distract you and take your attention away from what you're doing. But just give yourself 5 minutes, if you can. And then come up and you'll feel much different. So the premise behind it is to do something challenging, if you can, and see the way you react around that challenge. Or, if